Welcome. We are live. I'm Jay Hill, host of Studio 6 Paranormal Podcast. And with my guest today is Michelle LeBaron. Hello.
Hi.
First off, I want to say thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for
I've
having
been
me.
I've been looking forward to this now for probably about a month or so.
Oh.
Um, before we get started, I like to let people know that I am in a hotel that I usually do my podcast from. It's a spirited hotel built in 1856, and so I always give props and thank you out to Luke and Monica, the owners of this establishment, to having me here and to allow me to do my show here. They've been really great. Anybody who knows of the Maxwell Mansion, this is what this is. In Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. It's a beautiful property, beautiful hotel. Come visit. You won't be disappointed. So without further ado, let's talk to Michelle. So first off, give me the rundown of why your friends call you the Ghost Magnets.
Well, it's
Do you have a certain instance that happened to you that caused that?
it's a lot of instances. Working with a lot of people and a lot of my friends. I mean, a lot. I don't always get stuff, but a lot of times I do with my
Right,
friends,
right,
and
right.
they're just like, "Oh my God, you are the ghost magnet," or just anything that's like, I get validation and I get just unexplainable, photos and videos of the afterlife, and they just started calling me the ghost magnet. I mean, I think it's very rare that when someone's with me that they don't have an
Right,
experience.
right.
And so that is why
And that's a
they
good
gave me
thing.
that name. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Um, talk about a couple of your craziest investigations that you've been on, or some of your favorites that where you did get a lot of activity.
I was in, I've been on quite a bit of shows and I always talk about the same thing. So I'm just gonna, just talk about the event that I was at about a
Okay.
week and a half ago.
Okay.
It was called the Midwest Annual Paranormal Festival, and it was the first annual, and I was able to team up with my teammate, sister, friend Amy Green
Okay.
at an old jail. Got some pretty cool stuff the first day. Um, there's this really skinny. Well, first we had to do a walkthrough before we brought people in. Kind of
Right.
get the
Mhm.
safety aspect of it and the
Right.
feel of which areas I felt that had a lot of energy. Excuse me. um, and so I walked in, and immediately to the left, well, as I walked in, it was the women's jail section, and I had no idea it was the female jail section. And I just, was walking around, and I felt something, and I'm like, "Hello, I'm here. Hi,"
Yeah.
And I got an EVP. Well, actually, it was a disembodied voice, and it
Right.
was on the EVP. But it goes, it was a woman, and I heard it, and I'm like, "Amy," but it didn't sound like Amy. It was a
Oh
different
wow.
tone, and we were the only ones in there doing the walkthrough. She was on the other side, and she walks up, and I'm like, "Was that you?" She goes, "What?" And like, "What?" And she goes, "Did you laugh?" I go, "Did you laugh?" And she goes, "No, I didn't laugh. I was wandering around checking stuff out." And I was like, "Cool." So I immediately played my recorder, and sure enough, it was a female laughing. So I go outside after the walkthrough, and I speak to my friend Kelly Stefan, which she is from Marshalltown, Iowa. She's the one that puts on the event with some other people, teams there. And I said, "Listen to this," and they're like, "Oh my God, that's so cool." And I'm like, she goes, where'd you capture that? I go, well, you walk in, you walk a little to the right, and then you take an immediate left through the door. She goes, oh, that's the women's section. I totally get why you got that. And I'm like, well, cool. So we investigated, and I can't remember this girl's last name. She's really cool. I met her. We're Facebook friends now. Her name is Michelle. And we were walking down the hall, and to the left of me, there's this real thin hallway with a wall. And it's the cells are on the other side of this wall. I don't know if they like that's where they did the plumbing and whatever, but
Right,
it was very dark and very creepy. And I'm like, oh, I'm going in. So I went
right.
in. And so Michelle had an SLS, and sometimes the SLS, I it gives a lot of false positives.
Right,
It captures walls, it captures, you know, structural things.
Mhm.
And but here I am at the very back of the hall, and she's walking up, and she goes, oh my gosh, Mish. And I'm like, what? She goes, there's a very tall figure standing on your shoulders, and he's got his arms up against the wall, and he's walking up, and he's bouncing up and down. And I'm like, whoa, cool. So she captured that. That was awesome. But that was a really cool thing. And then we went down to the boiler room, and I have a friend of mine that I met that, I mean, we completely clicked. His name is Chad. And we were downstairs, and we were side by side, and I had a cat ball in my pocket.
Right,
Sometimes I'll
right.
just scare it just to put it there. So mind you, the ground is cement. It's a cement slab. It's all cement. There's no way of vibrating that ball. It's very hard.
Mhm.
There's no wobbly
Right,
table or
right.
all that stuff. Um, so we were standing there, and Michelle was across the way from us, and she had the camera on us, and I'm feeling like a little bit of a cool breeze, like down by my hip,
Mhm,
like to the right of me. And Chad was feeling something. And I was feeling things like tingly things on my fingers.
mhm.
And she goes, oh my gosh. And we're like, what? She goes, you have a small figure in between both of you.
Oh, wow.
And it's reaching up at your hands. And that explained why I thought, wow, the tingly sensation was possibly the
Right,
energy from the small figure. And I thought too, I had a visual in my head. It was a small boy, a
right.
little boy. And Chad was asking it to do things, and it followed Chad's instructions. And I'm like, whoa, okay. So there was a paint bucket on the floor. I pushed it in front of between me and Chad in front of us, and I grabbed my little cat ball out of my pocket, and I sat it on the bucket. And I'm like, if this is a little boy, hit or touch that ball, and bam, it went off
Oh, wow.
immediately. So that was cool. So the next day, we did another investigation at the jail, and I was teamed up with Josh Hurd. And
Oh, good guy. Yeah.
yeah, he's awesome. His energy is amazing.
Mhm.
And we had some really cool experiences, some really weird experiences with people getting scratched, and you know, there was a younger adult there, teenage boy, and he was hyperventilating, and his anxiety was at a high level.
Mhm.
And me being an empathic person, I felt him, and I felt him very deeply. And I walked over to him, and Josh is like across from me, standing next to the cell. And, I'm trying to calm this kid down. I mean, everyone was trying. And I said, here, let me get in there. And I just, mama mode actually
Right,
went in
right.
effect. And I said, I'm here to help you. Okay. And so I talked to him very kindly, very softly, and very calmly. And I said, I want you to put your arms around me. So he put his arms around me, And I said, I'm going to think about what is making you feel this way, and I'm going to pull it from you. And and I want you to feel my energy, and I want you to pull my positive energy into you. And so I'm hugging him, and this kid is just like bear hug tight,
Right, right,
and just
right,
like
right,
that. And then I'm calming him down, and I'm talking him out of this, and I'm like, you're an empathic person, you have anxiety, I see this, I feel this. And Josh is sitting over there going, whoa, what the hell's going on?
right.
And I calmed him down. I calmed that kid down, and he thanked me, and I said, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to be by my side this whole investigation. I do not want to lose sight of you. And that kid was like right on me the whole time,
Right, right,
and as he got, he started feeling energies and things. This kid is like learning, his gifts are popping up. He's
right.
like, whoa, this is freaking me out. I don't understand what I'm feeling. And I kind of helped him with it.
Hmm.
And so after that, everything was good. We all went back down into the boiler room where we captured the little boy doing
Right.
his thing. And I was with a group of 4. And then Josh Hurd was, I think, upstairs. So we were doing our EVP session, and there was one guy, and he was rocking in this chair, and he goes, "Whose chair am I sitting in?" And we did this EVP. And after he said that, because previously, I'm sorry, squirrel, I'm going all over the place. Um, he We were talking about the little boy. Is the little boy here? You're welcome to come hang with us, all that kind of thing. And these people were like really intrigued with the paranormal, really interested. And I think what I was able to show them really opened their eyes, and they were just excited. So he was rocking on the chair, and he goes, "Whose chair am I sitting in?" And when I played that back, clear as day,
Excuse me.
a male voice comes through and goes, "The little boy," like that.
That's
and,
awesome.
and then this guy goes, "Whoa, are you touching me?" Like grabbing his hand and touching his leg. And then that said yes, and it was a male's voice, and it was clear. And it's just weird. It's not weird. It was amazing because we got validation, because we were
Hmm.
speaking about the little child,
Right,
and
right.
the spirit goes, "The little boy."
Hmm. Hmm.
So that was a cool place. That wasn't a scary thing for me, but it made me happy. It was a good
Right,
experience.
right. Well, because of that, you got to help somebody too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing for, especially people with gifts. Empathic ones. To be able to assist
Yeah.
somebody else it means a lot. You know what I mean? And it's just your work's never done.
No.
It's just
Nope. It's not.
yeah. Um,
No.
Now this was in what was this in Marshalltown?
Marshalltown, Iowa.
Yeah, I used to
Uh,
live in Iowa, so I know Iowa. So
yeah.
I won't say where because I really don't like Iowa. but
Yeah.
but
The town was cool. The vibe was good. There were
yeah.
some sketchy things, like when I pulled out of the jail at like midnight, there were like these weirdos coming out of the
Oh yeah.
alleyway. It's like,
Mhm.
what the hell?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
thought I was cops, and they were scattering like roaches. But
Right.
um it's really cool. The energy is amazing. My hotel room, a brand new hotel. I'm laying on my bed, looking at the phone, FaceTiming Amy Green, and I see this shadow figure go from
Yeah.
the closet into the bathroom, and I was like, "Whoa! I just saw a freaking shadow," and I'm excited about it. Most people get freaked out, but she's like, "Really? Oh my gosh!" And this didn't happen once; it happened 3 times. And my
Wow.
sister, my twin, called me, and I was sitting on the bed, and the bathroom and the area was behind me, and I'm talking to her on FaceTime, and she goes, "Oh my God." And I'm like, "What?" She goes, "I just saw a shadow go from the closet to the bathroom." So it's probably this is the guy's walkway where he goes back and forth.
Did you post that?
Which one?
Did you take a video of that? I saw a video of you in a hotel room, and then
Oh no, that was in Texas in a hotel.
Oh, okay, okay. You're kind of all over the place, so I was just, wondering.
Yeah, I'm all over the place, believe me. But no, and then the third time, Kimberly Juarez, she does a podcast. Also, she came to visit me. Before we went to dinner, we went to my room, and I'm talking to her, and she's looking up at the far left corner, and I'm looking at her like, "What are you looking at?" And she goes, "I just saw a shadow," and it was like a ball of it was a black mist, and it dissipated in the corner of your room. I was like, "Oh, I don't." So that room, I want it next year if they have it. I'll investigate that room. I mean, you also think too, it could be the land because it's a new hotel.
Yeah.
But also hotels are famous for people to go and commit suicide.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's a lot of, I mean, every hotel I go in, I feel it. I walk in, certainly, boom, bam, there it is.
Right.
But Marshalltown is cool. It was an amazing event. It was fun. A lot of positive energy with the people around. I mean,
and that's important.
There's no drama. It was absolutely positive. The only thing I didn't like about Marshalltown is the first day, which was Friday, they have a meat factory that works during the weekdays. And I walked out of this building, and I almost hurled. It stunk so bad. It smelled like Vienna sausage, and I was gagging the whole time. And then Saturday was really good. Saturday and Sunday, it was the smell went away because they weren't working. But it reeked.
Now, was that
horribly.
The time when you were at that restaurant and you were eating that burger?
Yeah.
Okay, I watched that video. Now, don't get me wrong. I love burgers and everything, and I had never tried peanut butter on a burger. But when I finally did, people who don't know peanut butter and burgers, they go together.
Oh, it does.
It was totally awesome.
They even had they had jam, like a berry jam. With
now,
it.
Now, if it would have been a spicy jam, like a jalapeno jam.
I like that. Oh my gosh, that sounds so good. Yeah, pepper jelly. Oh my God.
Yeah. See, now that's something you got to think about. It's like,
Well, I thought first, I was like, oh God, should I do it for like the shock factor? Because it's got all this stuff on it. And everyone else, like Holly Mullins, and everyone's like, ew, don't, gross. Amy's like, disgusting. And I'm like, I'm trying this bad boy because I do that. I eat spicy foods. I'll eat bugs. I do too. I do all this weird stuff. I'm a crazy girl.
Yeah.
But and I like fried egg too on a hamburger.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Most definitely. My God.
That is the best too. So I'm just like, I get try a lot of different things in food and this and that.
You gotta. I mean, you might love it.
Right.
It might be gross and weird, but I ate a bag of crickets and I thought, oh my God, my friends are like, gross, you're disgusting. And I'm like, it tastes like sunflower seeds.
Right.
The dry. So you don't know.
Sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
So every time I eat sunflower seeds, I'm going to think crickets. Thanks, Michelle.
You're welcome. The real best part is when you got legs hanging out.
No.
And you're picking, it's like,
no, I don't even want to see. I don't want that visual. That's just, no. But so basically, that was a good trip that you took.
It was amazing. It was a wonderful trip.
Now I actually want to talk to you about Virginia City.
Oh, my love. I love that place.
Because that is on my bucket list to go to Virginia. City.
Yes,
And
yes.
the energy there is crazy. Because I was talking to my mentor, um, Shauna Maria, and I
Uh-huh.
was discussing, all these things of I have this infinity for old saloons. I like have like visuals of me walking into an old saloon. I could still smell the trail dust. I could smell leather. I could smell everything.
You know what's weird about that? That town is just that.
Yeah,
Um,
and so she was like, and I said, I wonder if it's something in my past life that I actually experienced or something, because I think about it
yeah.
out of nowhere all the time, and it's not something I'm obsessed with, but it's just something that happens to pop in my head, and it's like a memory. It's
Hmm.
just really bizarre.
Yeah.
So she was going to look into that. So part of that is Virginia City. I don't know what it is, but as soon as I saw Virginia City, when I saw the very first episode of Ghost Adventures, when they were in Virginia City at that hotel, and
Uh-huh.
I was like glued to that TV. You know what I mean? It was just like
Yeah.
everything. You know what I mean? So there's something about that town. Now
That town is weird. It's
you
I'm not
had
weird, but
I'm weird. I know
I'm weird too. I
it.
think maybe that's why we like it and want to be there.
So you basically investigated there, correct?
I
You have a
invest
couple different times.
I have I live 26 minutes from there. So I go a lot. I've probably I have investigated practically every single building almost basically in that town.
Oh,
Um, Also, it is so active when you're driving up that windy road to Virginia City. You've got all these mountains and trees and then guardrails, and then it's a windy road. And as soon as you get to that spot where you see Virginia City while you're driving, it's like, oh my God. It's like the town vibrates.
wow.
Um,
Yeah, yeah. That's the best way to describe it. When I look at that picture of that, it's just, especially the
yeah.
cemetery.
Oh, the
I
cemetery
mean,
is
it's just like
legit. Yeah.
it's just that energy that's coming off. Now, somebody had said to me when I was talking about that why I have an infinity for that. Um, this Sandy Griffith posted this.
What does it say? I'm blind as a bat. I
Says you
can't.
may have been a marshal in past life. Now,
Oh,
okay,
that's
okay.
interesting.
Now that is it gets interesting because the fact having her say that, my mentor said the same thing.
Wow.
She said that she saw me like in that sense with the black hat and the whole 9 yards and da da da. I was like, wow. So she was still going to look at that. Now, for somebody else to say this is just okay.
That's
I'm
awesome.
curious now. I'm really curious. So if there are other mediums out there, because I always, being a medium, I still like to pick the brain of another medium because they might
Uh-huh.
see things differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I don't believe that every medium's the same or every psychic person is the same. I
Yeah.
think
Everyone has.
everybody has their own gifts. They're unique to their own personality and they're
Hmm.
unique to their own path. So that's why I love to pick other people's brains and people who aren't empathic or who aren't, psychic in any way. I still like to pick their brain because I'm all about getting that information. So when you discuss Virginia City, I could probably sit down with you for 3 hours and just talk about Virginia City.
Oh, I
Okay.
could I could
You know what I mean?
tell
So,
you a lot about it.
um, it's just the whole graveyard. Was there something in particular that you discovered there that you thought that you didn't realize or know before? You know what I mean? Like if you've been there a couple times, I'm sure you've been to the cemetery a couple different times.
Uh-huh.
So
There's actually a
there
couple
there's got to
cemeteries.
be something that you discovered on a different date that you went to there. You said I didn't discover that the last time I was here. You know what I mean?
Um, there's always something different. There's always
Yeah.
different energy. There's always different spirits speaking. I mean, I have one in particular who does speak to me and show himself all the time. And I have photos of this entity, this spirit.
Hmm.
He's a massive, massive man. He's about, I'll say about 6'7", 6'8", big, just big. Um, and he shows himself in photos. I have shadow figure standing there in a doorway.
Hmm.
And it's the weird thing about this photo. I wish I could show you. It's in my presentation. But he stands in doorways, and like it's just weird. I don't know if I can't explain why he does that, but he'll show himself through that. He actually I'm standing up against a wall with my camera, and my friend's standing there, and she's like, Mish, I'm feeling something. I said, I feel it too. Oh my God. So I'm taking photos, and I can see this shadow coming off the corner of the wall, coming down and forming into this big mass. Um, and it there's no way that I could catch the shadow because there's nothing behind me. I have my camera in front of me. I can see if someone was in front of me, and I took the photo, and the flash popped up that shadow, but I was up against a wall like this, click 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 sort of thing. So I captured that, and then just recently, it's been a while since he's shown himself to me. It's like sporadic. It's three times he showed himself. One time was in the second floor where I captured him on feeling something on film. And then the second one where he's vibrating and pulsating up against a wall, and he engulfed a friend of mine, like whoa,
Right, right,
like
right,
a cloak. Whoa.
right,
And she moved forward, or actually it looked like she moved towards me, but it was him moving backwards, so it made her look like she came at
right,
me.
right,
And I was
right,
like, oh my God.
right.
But that freaked me out. And then the third one just recently, and I was thinking, I like to play with things now, like light spectrums, different types of lighting,
Mhm.
different types of colors. And I decided I'm going to go with some friends, and I'm going to stay up all night long, all night until that sun comes up. So I'm standing in a hall area of rooms with rooms, and there's a window, and the sun's coming up, and I start clicking photos, and I capture him. I capture him with shoes. He's heavy set. He's wearing a hat, and he's standing in the doorway. And it's like an amazing photo. And this was recently. So it's just, I just always play with that. But he always shows himself to me. He always communicates with me. He's always in my head when I'm there. He also keeps the spirits, if no one's getting anything or any type of activity, he keeps them at bay. He's the rule of the roost, he
Oh,
doesn't.
he's one of those. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I know that. I know
So, but that's my, being able to come in contact with him. It's like he's like we're drawn to each other, and I don't know why.
Well,
Um,
I think part of it too is because of the fact that when you talk about Virginia City, and I see some of the pictures and stuff of you being there, and your love for that place,
oh yeah.
you know what I mean? I mean, it wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise me in the least if you weren't somehow connected with the Old West in that. You know what I mean? I mean, it's
Yeah.
just so. Um, what was probably in Virginia City? Now, what you said you investigated everywhere in Virginia
Yeah.
City.
Pretty
Okay,
much.
okay.
There's a
Now,
couple places I still want in, but it's
right,
really
right.
hard.
Let's switch gears. You've been to Tombstone?
Nope.
No. Have you ever been to Deadwood?
Nope.
Okay. Those are two things on my list that I really want to go to. That and Deadwood really, but or Tombstone really I really
Yeah.
want to go.
I
But
I I want
you
to,
know,
but I
you
got
know,
it all there.
right, you do. But
Uh,
it's just the fact that um just the energy there too is also very strong. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And I think about Tombstone a lot too. But um,
Yeah.
have you experienced something like in a smaller building in Virginia City, like a smaller location that kind of freaked you out?
Um, everywhere at the Silver Queen bathroom.
Okay, yeah, that's what I mean. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm asking just as a medium. I'm asking you as you know, have you had an experience in a small space or small place
Oh
that really kind of
yeah.
freaked
Like,
you out, and you had to really question what the hell am I doing here?
yeah, I was sitting in on the toilet
Yeah,
in the Silver Queen in the ladies' room,
yeah,
and I'm sitting there, and the doors all, and I'm like, "What? I'm in here!" Like that, and nobody said
uh,
anything. I didn't hear the door open like anyone walking out, but I felt the energy.
right, right.
So I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna pull out my camera and film while I'm on the pooper." You know what I mean? So yeah.
uh,
But it's
that's funny.
everywhere. You can actually go out there at night. It usually shut if you do it on the weekday, it's the best because it's a
Right,
tourist town. So
right,
Fridays and Saturdays are just too loud. People are drunk, having great time,
right,
till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, which contaminates everything.
right, right.
So the best time to go is during the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Um, I had my friend Rhonda and we were sitting on a bench. It was like 2:30 in the morning. It was quiet. We had the whole town to ourselves, basically. We could hear boots walking on the boardwalk, and you could hear the spurs.
Really?
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, that was
You can sit down, do an EVP session and capture
big
voices.
capture. Wow.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
amazing place.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it has to do with the land, as we kind of talked about. Different places have different effects from the land, and that being where that's location. I mean, it's just the land has a lot to do with that fuels that activity. You know,
You know, it's a lot of metal. It's a mining town.
right?
Um, they did gold, they did silver, they did copper. So you got all this metal conduit, which spirits draw themselves to. And also, at one time in the late 1800s, when it was booming,
Hmm.
there was more people in that little tiny town than there was in LA.
Wow,
There was over, like, I think, like either 25 to 40,000 people. And
wow,
there is an area in the Washoe Club where it's in the museum, and you walk in and it's called the Crypt. You can get a lot of cool stuff in there too.
right?
They would store bodies in there. It was
Hmm.
actually a place to keep liquor cool.
Mm, okay,
So the only reason why they stored those bodies there, because there's a lot of deaths. There's a
right,
lot of
right.
murder. There's a lot of, people dying of illnesses.
Hmm.
But when it was wintertime, the ground was so frozen that they couldn't bury these people. So
Right,
they
right.
had to stack them up
Hmm.
on top of each other inside this crypt. And you can feel it when you walk in there. It's
The
like,
heavy
oh,
that
yeah.
heaviness. Yeah,
Yeah, I've
yeah.
slept in there. So, but it's
Glutton
sometimes
for
creepy.
punishment, I guess.
Yeah, I like it.
You hence the weirdness.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Very weird.
Yeah. So, have you been out east?
I sure have.
Okay.
Um,
Gettysburg.
that is on my bucket list.
That's on mine too.
But I've been to Blair House. I've been to Bobby Mackey's. I've been to Waverly. I've been to Perrysville Battlefield, and that place was Perrysville Battlefield.
Yeah.
I mean, I tear up
Yeah.
just because it is absolutely gorgeous and
Right. Right.
beautiful, and pastures of beautiful wildflowers where people, died
Mm-hmm.
tragically. I had some experiences there that was just Oh my God, insane. And it happened to be on the 4th of July.
Oh
Sorry,
wow.
my nose is all stuffy. And there were fireworks going off. And I think the fireworks amped up the
Kind of like a
energy.
trigger object.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
We were walking through the fields and we could hear horses, like, you know, when they're
Oh yeah. Yeah.
walking and going, you could hear
Yep.
that.
Hmm.
Um, I captured a friend of mine went into this forest area with thin trees, like sticky trees, stick trees. I've
Yeah.
never seen them. I'm usually big old trees where I live.
Right. Right.
And he goes in there, it's the woods. That's what we'll call it. I live in the forest, you know,
Right.
sort of thing. So he goes in there, he sees someone running in there, and he's highly empathic, highly gifted individual. His name's Brian Clark, and I also run Reap Investigations West Coast,
Hmm.
and he's one of our teammates. But he went in there and came out sobbing and crying and
Really?
just overwhelmed with sadness. And I was like,
Wow.
"What did you see, B?" And he's just, you know, and I'm like, "What'd you see?" And he couldn't tell me because he was so upset. And I'm like, "I'm going in." So I ran in there and I grabbed my camera and I started taking photos. And I do have some evidence that's pretty weird. Um, Over by the trees, there's this white mist, and it looks like it's manifesting. Um, the second photo, it's a figure, like a person, and then the third photo, it wisps away. The light
Wow.
is like boom, 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 and I captured that. That was like crazy.
Wow.
Um, there's one time I only got like 10 minutes, but I'll try and hurry with this. A friend of mine, the guys all left and a few other people left, and it was like four of us girls. And we walked up this hill called Bloody Mountain, where the Union soldiers stood up on top while the Confederate soldiers were walking up this mountain, and what do you call it? Where they all just jumped on them and just started shooting at them.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So it was so bloody that the blood was coming down the mountain.
Oh wow.
There were so many people killed. So we were up on the top, and I was standing next to a cannon, and I cannot explain this, and it's unreal. And I would like to go back because I think I can find that area that I was. I'm starting to get emotional. Sorry. And
Hmm.
uh, I was looking through a monocle, kind of a night vision uh, binocular, but it was a single one. Is that a monocle? Is that what
Yeah.
it is?
Hmm.
Okay.
Were you looking through that? Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't have any like options of being able to take photos or video it. It was like an old school one, I guess.
Hmm. Hmm.
So I'm looking through it and I'm looking and I'm like, oh my God. And I became overcome with emotion and started crying. And I'm like, oh my God, you know, I'm seeing. And what I am seeing, and you got this pareidolia stuff where you got the flowers and you might, you know, form stuff, making it look like something. So, but this was
Something just
real.
touched my arm.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was listening to you, and then I was just like, "What was that?" Go ahead. So.
So anyways, what I see in this field is men laying there, um, dying in this field. I don't see the flowers. I see men laying there in like brown looking kind of grassy
Hmm.
area. And one guy was laying on his side and his face was disfigured. You could see his beard. It looked like his ear was blown off or something. It was really weird. And he was laying there and he's all
Oh yeah. Yeah.
like he's breathing,
He's
gasping.
grasping for air. Yep.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm crying. And my friends like, give me it. And they're trying to see what I'm seeing. And they're like, I can't see it, Mish. I can't see it. I don't know what you're seeing. And then my friend Tammy, and I didn't tell them what I saw, what made me cry. Hold on.
Right. Yeah.
um, so my friend Tammy grabs it, and she starts scouring, and she's like, okay. Oh, I dropped to my knees, and
Right.
I cried, and she grabbed the monocle, and they all grabbed the monocle, and they did all their thing, and then Tammy took it, and so she's scouring the field, and she goes, oh my God. And I'm like, what do you see, Tammy? She goes, oh my God. And she starts getting overwhelmed. Sorry, I gotta blow my nose.
Yeah.
And I go, what do you see? Please tell me. I don't want to feel crazy. She
Right.
goes, I see men. I see men laying in the field. And she goes, oh my God, there's one man laying there sideways, disfigured, and he's gasping for air. And I about like, oh my God. What we saw was like,
You were meant
uh,
to see that.
yeah. Um,
Yeah.
it's I got chills. I can't
Hmm.
even explain. I mean,
Yeah.
it was so real. And to have someone there with me, my friend
To
Tammy
validate that.
Benjamin, to validate what
Yeah.
I saw. I mean, it's full of flowers, beautiful flowers.
Yeah.
But when we were scouring it, it was ugly. It was
Right.
horrible.
Right.
So I mean, if you ever have a chance to go to Perrysville Battlefield, go. They have nighttime where you can walk and investigate. It's amazing.
Somebody said, um,
Ugh.
if Perrysville affects you like Gettysburg, like that, Gettysburg will drop you to your knees, Michelle.
Probably. I mean, I've wanted to go there. I'm drawn to Gettysburg as well. And
Yeah. I have,
um,
I have, I have ancestors that were, that were in the Civil War. I have
yeah.
great uncle or great uncle, and he played. I mean, he played. He was on the side of the South, and he's written in one of the museums, and so I really want to go there. I have a connection to that, so I really want
Oh,
to go
that would
there.
be great. You
You know what I
should.
mean?
That should
Yeah,
be on your top bucket list. You
it's
got
one of them.
family.
Yeah, it's one of them. So you have to
Yeah.
realize that when I say he's just my great uncle, because of the fact that my grandfather, my dad's dad, was born in 1881,
Mhm.
because my mom and my dad was born when my grandma was 47. So yeah. So and my mom and dad
Wow.
had me when they were late, late in life, and 37, 38. So yeah. So I have lineage that goes
Huh.
all the way back into, on my dad's side, my last name side goes all the way back to President George Washington.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
yeah. Yeah. I actually have in my um, ancestral line, was the very first U.S. Attorney General appointed in North Carolina by George Washington. Was my third great grandfather.
Wow.
Yeah. So
How incredible.
yeah, it is. It's really pretty cool. I mean, and so it's like, yeah, I have the infinity also for the East Coast. I mean, there's like Virginia, there's North Carolina, there's all that's all the colonial states to me is where I
I've been taken to North Carolina twice for two different jobs to, shut down facilities and
right,
things,
right.
and I'm just like, why am I drawn over here? Why are they taking me here?
Well, and
And
it's because you're empathic, and I think there's a reason why. I mean, sometimes some things happen. They're going to work out that way for a reason. I think everything happens for a reason, anyways. But
well,
you know,
definitely, yes, the energy back east is way different than the west.
yeah.
But yeah, it's a totally
Oh
different
yeah, it's a
energy.
total different. It's really kind of weird because it seems like the East Coast is really old history,
Uh-huh.
whereas in the West
Yeah.
Coast is old history, but it's kind of darker side. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And that's the way
Yeah,
I
it's
look at
very
it.
dark, very
Yeah.
dark. Yep,
So
you're right.
yeah, and that's the
You
way I kind of
pinpoint
think.
that really perfectly.
Yeah. What do you think of Colorado?
um, I don't know. I don't Are you talking about the Stanley Hotel?
Oh yeah, I've been there before. I've been there
Yeah, I
twice.
mean,
Yeah.
I've wanted to go there. That's on my bucket list, but Colorado, I'm not drawn to Colorado.
I am very drawn to Colorado. I used to live there when I was younger, but
Hmm.
I mean, I vacation there, and there's something about when I meditate, and that's my visual is being surrounded by the Rocky Mountains.
Oh yeah, okay,
Okay,
I get you.
you know,
Yeah.
and that's my also my energy. Or if I'm down by Lake Geneva, the lake down here, I'll sit there and meditate in front of the lake.
I'm
So,
very drawn to Arizona and I'm very drawn to
oh,
Sedona.
you just had a little orb come up right above your left right arm. Came right, yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, I told you, you'll see some stuff. And it's not dust, it's
No, yeah,
illuminated.
no, I know
Yeah.
dust.
There's one guy I had a radio show with, and I had my full spectrum light on because things show themselves in full spectrum. And we were Skyping,
Mhm.
so we weren't live, so we couldn't save it. But I'm standing there and he's like, "Oh my God." And I, what? Sorry, I hope I don't offend anybody with the God thing. Um, but he said that there were little tiny things going around the crown of my head, just like,
Right.
and floating all over the place. And he was like, "Oh my God." He was like totally amazed.
Yeah.
But we couldn't because he kept staring, and I'm like, "What are you looking at?" Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's funny. So yeah, I think that you being you with I know you have you're empathic and stuff like that, and it's
Yeah.
just that energy you give off, that good aura, that good vibe, and
Thank you.
it's almost like somebody who doesn't. No, I'm not saying that people do. I'm just saying if somebody came up to you and doesn't like you, they would instantly change their mind within 3 minutes. You know what
I've
I mean?
had I've had that happen.
Okay. I really don't like you, but now that I got to know you, you're awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's the kind of aura that you have, that you give off. And so I think that's when you asked me if I wanted you on my show, and that's one of the reasons, because of the fact
Oh,
that you have
thank you.
that aura and that positive outlook, and you're from what you've described and some of the things that I've seen that you have shown pictures and videos and stuff like that, with investigating, you're right in it. You're right there.
Thank
So
you. That's my
so
love. I
so
love
you
it.
just have to keep that up and keep going, and you know and
I've always thought, Jay, that I'm coming to realize this, oh, I'm getting into it to find answers, to find the right answer. I don't even do that anymore. I do it because I enjoy it.
yeah,
I do it because I love communicating with the afterlife.
yep,
I don't really have to go out there and say, "Oh, the holy grail of,
right, right,
that shit." I
right,
I just do it, and I know that because I keep a positive outlook with
mhm,
it when I go in and when I leave.
right,
And I'm never negative. I never feel negative going into an
right.
investigation. I always bring it to make it happy, you
You're
know.
positive that overflows out of you. It's like you've got this like button. It's like a button on you that's like taped on. It's like taped, so it does. You can't shut it off. So you have this positive that kind of flows out you, and people see
Uh,
that, and so people want to be your friend, or they want to talk to you, or they want to, you know what I mean? So
And you know what? I'm very humble.
right,
I'm not. I mean, I'm not famous, and I don't claim to be.
right,
I know that I'm very respected in what I do, and I love that.
right,
And I'm kind to people. I treat people the way that they would like to be treated, and how I would like to be treated.
right,
I am not a mean person.
right.
I hug people
Yeah,
because I just
that's
love
what you
giving
do.
my
Yeah,
loving energy to
right,
people.
right.
So I mean, there's a couple people that are haters. They're jealous of
Oh,
me.
they're out there. Yeah,
Yeah, and they like report my I followers don't matter. I mean, they matter, but the number doesn't matter.
right, right.
And I had almost 35,000 followers on TikTok. I just started getting the ball rolling, and someone kept reporting my videos saying that it was sexual and nudity, and I'm like, "Excuse me, but that's not only fans, that's TikTok, okay?"
Right.
And so they got so many reports that they just banned my page. And you know what? I went online and I'm like, look, okay, I got trolls, I've got haters, okay, you reported my stuff, but guess what? I started a new page and I'm just going to continue to do it because I like putting kindness and love and happiness
Laughter.
and
Yeah.
laughter.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
my big thing. I
Yeah.
love making people smile. I'll
Right.
do crazy stuff just
Yeah.
to make people's day.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and
Yep.
people don't like that. Some people. And you know what? They can kick rocks. I don't give a crap about
They can
them.
kick rocks and pound sand.
Hell yeah. So I'm more loved than I am hated, you know?
Yeah, I
So
think that
I like that
that's a
better.
pretty that's an accurate um, assessment. I mean, I just think
Yeah.
that people have some people have too much time on their hands,
Oh,
you
it's
know,
so
and
bad.
to be haters or to be trolls or to be jealous or to be this or that, you know, it's like you're totally missing the mark, man. You know?
I'm good. There's people that talk crap and spread rumors and,
Oh yeah,
but guarantee right here, face to
yeah,
face, they wouldn't say shit.
right. Oh, I totally agree.
I would knock someone's teeth out of their mouth or make them shit their teeth if they mess with me. So,
Right. There you
but
go.
they're not afraid of the little keyboard thing though.
Oh no. No. Back what
Yeah.
happened back in the day before we had internet and all this other stuff, and yeah, it was
Yeah, we
all
handled it.
yeah,
We
we all
handled
it was all
it.
rumors. Somebody said this,
Yeah.
somebody said that, and then you would go find those two people,
Yeah.
and then you would just do the trickle down effect until you found that one person, and then that was it.
Yeah, I dealt with
Yep.
that a lot. I dealt with bullying and,
Yep. Hmm.
shit talk and everything. And I've been doing this for 12 years almost now. And, now it's come to the point where I don't care. I don't care about you if you're going to be an ass.
Right.
Don't
Right.
be a shitty person. Stay out of my bubble. I got other things to do that
Yep.
brings joy to my life. I don't need you around me.
Right.
So
Yeah.
that's how I roll
The
now. I don't
positive the
care.
positive energy continues to flow out of Michelle LeBaron.
Yeah.
so so I think we're gonna wrap. So I want to thank you again for coming on. This has been fun.
Thank you for having me. I
Yeah,
wish it
I
was
mean,
longer, but
yeah, I mean, you
I'm
have,
kind of like under the weather. I mean,
yeah, and I realize that, and I think that you told some really great stories, and I'm like totally enamored or
I would
enamored.
like I would like to write a book actually. My book would be legit
Oh, I'm sure it would.
if I
Oh
got off
yeah,
my ass and did it.
yeah,
So,
yeah. I'm supposed to write a book as well, and
uh-huh.
I'm like in the same boat as you. So when we share the same boat, one of us will eventually get out. You know. So,
Okay.
but yeah,
I might need a life preserver once in a while, but I'll get there. I know
yeah.
I will.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, if you've got a lot of content in your brain and you want to get it
Oh my
out,
gosh.
yeah.
It's like a
So
movie. I could actually make movies out of what
there you go. Hey,
I've witnessed.
I actually am good friends with a screenplay writer. So
Cool.
yeah,
Okay.
he was actually my camera guy in my paranormal team.
Well,
So
there you go.
yeah,
We'll do some paranormal like
yeah,
snippets.
yeah. There you go. All right. Thank you again, everyone, and thank you, Michelle. It's been a pleasure.
Thank
And
you.
you want to quickly tell me where people can find you, and
I'm on TikTok, ghost_magnet1.
okay.
Instagram, the same. Facebook, Michelle LeBaron, LeBaron, /paranormal investigator. That's my investigator page. And then I have a regular personal page. Plus, I have Reap Investigations West Coast group. If you guys want to go in and join that, you can go in there. We're going to be working on some things this year. Actually, we've got the Nevada State Prison September 18th with the Reap Investigations West Coast. I wish I could have the East Coast Reap peeps there, but it's
Right.
kind of hard.
Right.
And also, I will be at Vulture City. I will be speaking.
Awesome.
I'm one of the headliners there for Vulture City Paracon. I believe it's October 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th.
That would be cool.
It's amazing,
Yeah.
huge event, and
Yeah.
Marie and Jay Yates put on a amazing event. So
Okay.
if you can do that, do that. But that's that. That's me.
Okay.
So
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for all the people who are watching. And we will catch you tomorrow night. Actually, I have David Childers and Kristen Joy.
I adore them. They're
Yes,
awesome.
and I'm looking forward to that. And
I'd like to meet them one day.
there you go. Wait, I'm sure you will.
Oh, I will.
I can probably guarantee you will. So
Thank
yeah.
you
So
for everything. Thank
yes,
you.
thank you, everyone.